I've just read something and it doesn't sit right. In Britain, as of late 2025, a working family needs to earn around £71,000 a year just to match the income of a jobless household with 3 kids.
Has the world gone literally mad?
They're raising the state pension age to 67, and that number is never coming back down.
Can this fucking country get any worse? Cost of living crisis, bills through the roof, can't feed your fucking kids properly, and the government want to slap a fucking tourist tax on a UK holiday.
Guys, is it just me being a complete bloody misery guts? But since when does 3 bags in home bargains come to £62?
Sorry, did you just say that the MPs get a cost of living increase?
£3,300.
So they're getting, but they don't pay for their cost. This is the whole point about MPs. We know they do not pay for their cost of living.
I have a big family, they said. They didn't tell me how much a 5-day food shop is going to be. £264.51.
I just love how British Gas think they can email me telling me that from the 23rd of this month my direct debit is increasing by £250 a month on top of what I'm paying. Bold of you to assume that's going to be sitting there waiting for you to take. So now, British Gas, I'm going to cancel that direct debit because there's no way you're taking that amount of money from me. And so now you get 0 this month. Why don't you just let me pay what I'm paying? Like, okay, granted, I'm probably paying slightly less than I should, but at least you're getting something from me. Like, so now you're going to get 0 this month unless you let me go on my account and reset up a direct debit for what I've been paying, maybe slightly more. But I just think it's funny that you think that, because you probably not just sent me this email today, you probably sent it to quite a lot of your other customers maybe that are underpaying, and think they've just got an extra £250 sitting there waiting for you to take from them. Like, give over. We've all had enough. It's about time, you know, that, I mean, it won't happen because there's too many, I mean, my mum's generation as an example, they're so, you know, all bills must be paid on the right date, you can't be behind with a bill, blah, blah, blah. But I just wish everyone could gather together and be like, F your sodding electric and gas bills when you know, when they're profiting all these millions of pounds every year, these companies, these energy companies, whilst so many people are struggling to actually, like, put food on the table. And now, and no one has, like, anything luxury anymore, you know, just going out for a meal or to the cinema or having a takeaway, that's a once in a blue moon treat for people now.
Welcome to Blighty Blighted, your daily reminder that the biggest cost of living in Britain might actually be the cost of not living. Now then, everyone talks about the price of food, the electricity bill, the rent, the petrol. Fair enough. They're all expensive. But there's another cost people rarely mention. The things we're no longer doing. Families aren't eating out as often. Friends aren't meeting in the pub. Couples are canceling weekends away. Grandparents are thinking twice before treating the grandchildren. Young people are putting off moving out. People are delaying having children. Hobbies disappear. Days out disappear. Even little pleasures start disappearing. It's amazing how quickly life becomes all about paying bills and not much else. I remember when a Saturday meant doing something. A trip to the seaside, a garden centre, the football, a proper Sunday lunch at the pub, or simply driving somewhere because it looked nice. Nowadays, people check their bank balance before deciding whether they can afford to leave the house. We're becoming experts at staying indoors, not because we want to, but because it's cheaper. Then there's the social side. Loneliness costs nothing until you realize what it's taking away. Friends see each other less. Families get together less. people celebrate less. Life quietly shrinks, not because people stopped caring, because everything costs money. And what about the children? That's the part that bothers me. Memories aren't made scrolling through a phone. They're made at the beach, on camping trips, at birthday parties, walking through the countryside, feeding the ducks, doing ordinary things with the people you love. A childhood shouldn't be measured by how many subscriptions mum and dad had to cancel.
Hi, so let's finally talk about the cost of living here in UK. I think I really needed to talk about this because I know a lot of people, especially those who aren't here in UK, have already made a lot of assumptions, and I don't think most of them are true anyway. So let's start with the nurse's salary here in UK. Most of you guys already know that I'm a nurse here, and like what I've said before, different band and different pay. But for me, I don't want to discuss what band am I right now and which hospital I'm working at because I think that's my privacy. But my roughly take-home pay every month is around like 3,500 to 3,800. It still depends if I want overtime, but for me, I really don't take a lot of overtime because I'm really tired with my contracted hours already. So now let's talk about the rent of house or flats here in UK. So since I don't live in London or in a big city, rent here is much cheaper. So house or flats usually range from 600 to 850 pounds per month. That's the maximum here, like 850 pounds per month only. And then there's council tax that you need to pay. So that costs roughly around 120 pounds. And then I'm paying around 120 pounds for electricity, and then 200 pounds for my 4 months water bill. That's most of my bills every month. So let's just say I'm paying a total of 1,200 pounds per month, but still has a lot remains on my salary. But since I'm such a girly, I do spend quite a bit on makeup, skincares. I do have facials every month that I'm paying around 8 pounds per month. Clothes, I love clothes. I know that's not really a good financial decision, but it makes me happy and keeps me going. And I think that's much pretty my monthly expenses, really. And honestly, if you're really good with money, I do think you can build a comfortable and stable life here in UK. But that's not everyone's situation, of course, because especially those who have kids because they have higher expenses. I'm just speaking to my own experiences. And to those aspiring RNs who's watching me, you can have a work-life balance here in UK. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.
I just looked at 2 nights in London, £1,840. Then you want to put another £92 on for a fucking weekend break? We pay income tax, council tax, VAT, road tax, national insurance. Now they want to tax us to take a bloody rest. You want to tax us on the only thing that we have to keep us fucking sane? This government hates working class people. They want us to work till we drop. We never rest, never enjoy a fucking thing. Fuck this country, fuck this tax. When does this blood sucking actually end? Too loud to be ignored. Hit follow, more chaos.
Right, Andy Burnham, just listen up. I genuinely welcome the £2 bus fare cap you've just announced. Every little helps. But can I ask why families in Kent are paying some of the highest public transport costs in the country, while London has Oyster cards, fare caps and free bus travel for many children? Our teenagers still need to get to school, college and work. Parents here are absolutely hammered. So if we're serious about opportunity, why shouldn't Kent have an Oyster-style system too? Affordable transport shouldn't depend on your postcode. It should be available to absolutely every child in England.
And do you know what? I'm probably going to sound really, really poverty with this, but I read something about it yesterday, and it is actually really, really bad. So basically, in the UK, obviously, plastic bags used to be free. Then they went up to 5 pence, then they went up to 10 pence. I don't know about anybody else, but everywhere I've been, a plastic bag is 40 pence. If you go into Asda, if you go into Own Bargains, wherever you may go, a plastic bag is 40 pence. I think Aldi's are 40 pence. I think that pretty much everywhere they're 40 pence. So that means that basically, since 2000, I'm sure it said since 2015, that plastic bags have gone up 700%, which is obviously like massive. So what it was saying was, if minimum wage went up the same way since 2015 as what plastic bags have went up, then minimum wage would be £53 something. So I don't know many people that have a job that are on £53 something an hour. So it's no wonder that everybody's struggling and nobody can afford to do anything and everybody's struggling to get by, because I just think, like, when you actually sit and think about it, it's really bad, isn't it?
Is it just me, or does everybody else feel the same, that the cost of living has just gone completely haywire this past couple of years? I don't know, like, I went in there thinking, oh, it'll be cheaper, you know, I'll grab a few essentials. It's actually, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know how people are expected to go on like this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Of course, our wages aren't going up in line with it.
After the recent budget, families on full benefits can now take home £18,000 more than their neighbours working full-time on the national living wage. Let that sink in for a minute. For larger families, benefits can reach £55,000 a year, more than many professionals can earn after degrees, years of experience and full-time work. We now have millions of people on out-of-work benefits. Disability and health claims are soaring through the roof, and thousands more are being signed off every single day. And instead of fixing what's broken, the system keeps expanding while work becomes less and less rewarding. So explain this to me. How does a country survive when going to work leaves you worse off than staying home? Where's the incentive to work anymore? At some point, we have to stop punishing the people who get up, go to work and keep this country running. You're welcome.
Do you notice how it only ever goes up? We never wake up to good news saying the retirement age has gone down to 52 and the government's buying everyone a free moped. If you're sitting there thinking the government's going to look after you when you retire, well, they're not, because they keep on moving the goalposts. So what's your plan when you hit 67? Or are you just going to work until you drop?
There seems to be a lot you're not aware of. I mean, if we look at just in 2026, you've got National Gallery Trustees Dinner, £300, Sky Arts Salon, £248 times 2. Did you take a member of staff to that then?
What was it? The Sky? I took a guess, yeah.
Who was the guess? Was it a member of staff?
No.
Oh, this is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, just to say they are...
Annual Trustees Dinner. Yeah. I mean, the amount of food that you consume on somebody else's cost is quite substantial. And do you not think that this looks bad? You talk about transparency. Your answers to my colleague, Assemblymember Bakari, if we are spending taxpayers' money trying to sort businesses out, it is absolutely appropriate that we know where that money is going. There should be an element of transparency around there, because supposing you decide to give it to XYZ companies and not ABC companies, we ought to all be able to see why you're investing money in an area and not another. It's no good saying they don't want people to know. Well, we want to know as taxpayers, Deputy Mayor.
And wait for this one, right? The payment will apply to ministers as well as backbenchers, meaning it will be received by senior figures, including Sir Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves.
It is shocking.
So they're actually costing us. The cost of living is going up because of them, because of all the increases in tax that they've brought on.
Absolutely.
And they're getting almost £3,500 to deal with that. We're not getting it.
It's absolutely
And in fact, worse than that,
ridiculous.
we're paying for that.
We're paying for their cost of living increase.
Oh.
So this is our trolley, and our final price is £269.78 for 5 days food. But we are a big family, guys. This is exactly why I don't do a week's food shop. It's impossible. As a big family, it's not enough space. Even Marshy's carrying things. It's falling everywhere. Literally, to get to the car, everything keeps falling. So when people say, oh, it'd be cheaper to do it, you know, for a whole week, yeah, maybe, but this is just nightmare. Look, it's just everywhere. It's impossible to do it like that. Matthew, watch out, my bread's getting half a tyre on it now. Oh, hell.
The cost of living in the UK was completely out of control, and that's why we left. We left nearly 3 years ago because as 2 full-time working parents was not enough for us to sustain the life that we had in the UK. We were basically surviving. We were not living, and we had really good jobs, high-paid jobs with really good salaries, and this barely covered our rent, our bills, our council tax, childcare, food shops, you know, electric, and even if the car went wrong or something happened, the big chunk of money had to go out. We just felt like we were constantly chasing our tail, constantly paying stuff out. And then we had this tiny little pot left over to actually enjoy ourselves and do things that we wanted to do. And then because there wasn't enough money, we would then put it onto a credit card, and then we were in this massive circle of debt. So I could just see us doing this for the next 40 years and completely saying goodbye to our lives until it's time to retire, and we're either too ill or too old to enjoy it. And our life basically flashed before our eyes, especially the kids' childhood. We have 3 children, and I thought, I'm not going to see my kids' childhood because I'm going to be so busy working, trying to support them. It is just a crazy vicious circle that I didn't want to be a part of. So we left the UK. We now have a much simpler life, and like today we just filled up our moped for £4, the same petrol that you have in the UK, and that's a full tank that's going to last me for 2 weeks, £4. You know, it's absolutely crazy. And now we don't have any of the stuff. We live a much simpler life. We don't have to go to a 9 to 5, and I get to see my kids' childhood. So I know what I would rather pick, and that's why we left the UK. So many people ask, and it's the cost of living. It was just too high.
So yesterday it was announced that VAT is being removed from energy bills in the UK, electricity to be more specific. How much can a family actually save from this? So let's have a look at what it actually means for an ordinary working family. So from the 1st of October, VAT on domestic electricity in Great Britain will fall from 5% to 0%. So it's currently funded by the financial year, and it's covering the winter period. So I am reading from my screen here, so just make sure I've got everything right. The government says it will reduce a typical year's energy price cap figure by around £45. So it does sound pretty positive on the face of it. But now if we break that down, you're looking at around £3.75 per month across the year. And there's something really important to understand, that this only applies to your electricity, so not your total energy, just your electricity. And the actual saving will actually depend on how much electricity you actually use. So households with electric for heating, heat pumps or electric cars may save a little bit more, while families who mainly use gas will notice it less and less. And just by removing VAT, it doesn't mean that the overall bill will fall. If the electricity prices rise when Ofgem's price cap begins, the bill could still increase. It would simply be lower than it would have been without the tax cut. So yes, it's a saving, and you know, every penny does count in some stretched households at the moment. But most working families, it's £45 enough a year to actually create any kind of breathing room? Or does more still need to actually be done about the underlying energy costs? Let me know your thoughts.
So the new Prime Minister's gone and done it, isn't he? He's gone and done us all a favour and cut the VAT in October from 5% to 0% on our electricity. Oh wow. I wonder what I'm going to get with that 45 quid a year. What are you not going to get with your 45 quid a year? Is he taking a fucking piss? Seriously, is he taking the piss? £45. That's all he saved us on our electricity bills per year. £45 by cutting the VAT from 5% to 0% starting October. I don't fucking think so. Who else agrees with me? Oh, I've still got it might take me a couple of weeks to decide what I'm going to spend my £45 on. Maybe it go on my fucking gas bill. Seriously, this government is taking the piss. What are you going to spend your £45 on? Oh, please comment. Who agrees that they should be doing more? Because you know what they do? They say all this bullshit, okay? They do it for a couple of months, and then they fuck us all over. They always fuck us over. The government always fucks us over I don't care what anyone says, they always fuck us over. The NHS is failing. You can't get a fucking doctor's appointment. The kids are being killed by kids. You've got other things going on that people are doing to kids. Can't say it on here, but you know what I mean, don't you? You've got other people coming over on boats. We can't even get a fucking house. People in the UK can't even get a house. We've got people that fought for this country that are on the fucking streets. This country is fucked. This country is fucked. We are supplying drones to the Ukraine. Where's that fucking money? Why can't we have that money back for the UK, for the people of the UK? It just takes the piss. This government is fucked. They fucked us all over. Don't matter who gets in Parliament. Doesn't matter who runs the country, because we're all fucked. Seriously, I've fucking had enough. Seriously, I'm still thinking, well, it might take me to October to decide what I'm going to spend my £45 on my 0% VAT on my electricity. That might take me to October to decide what I'm going to spend it on.
Okay, seriously, a serious question. Do I look like a thief? Honestly, like, put in the comments below. It's a genuine question. Do I look like a thief? So it is not my week. I was in Aldi 2 days ago and basically got accused of stealing a bag and a pound pack of donuts. Today I'm was super excited because my new Hoovers arrived. So there's an Argos in my local Sainsbury's, so I go there to go and pick up my Hoover, and I think, do you know what, I'm going to go and do my food shopping. Why not? A bit more expensive, but let's just get it all done in one. So it's absolutely crowded, not a problem, loads of people in the fucking way, a bit irritating, but I'm happy because I go down an aisle to get my chinchilla water, and it's the first quiet aisle in the shop. Yay. Until I see at the end there's a security guard and he is staring at me, and I mean just staring. So, you know, I'm looking around thinking, oh, you know, is it someone behind me? No, he's staring at me. Okay. You know, I carry on doing my thing, looking for my chinchilla water, and the guy is staring at me so much. Another customer actually says, oh, you know, he's looking at you, love. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's a bit awkward. And so, you know, but he's just doing his job. I carry on doing my thing, and then, you know, like, I get what I need to get, and I make my way to the self-service checkout, and it's like the bigger shop one. So I go there, and it's really fucking weird. Literally every Sainsbury's worker around there is staring at me, and I've done nothing wrong. Literally, I'm buying like bread, normal, like, you know, crisps and stuff like that for the week. Like, it's not like I've spent ages down the booze aisle or anything, or in the homeware, you know, picking up stuff, putting it back. I'm not even doing the thing where you scan and shop. Like, it's so weird. And then to top it all off, like, the till froze at the end. I thought, oh, you know when it's like you're on edge because you think, well, you know, why is everyone staring at me? So, like, basically when I went to pay, it froze up on the card payment, and she was like, you need to put it in. I was like, you know, it wasn't, basically it just froze, and I tapped it and it worked. But yeah, it was just very strange. And obviously I wasn't stealing. I wouldn't steal. I'm a good person. It was just such a bizarre experience. Like, I know it's like a proper first world problem. I have got, like, not to pull like the anxiety card and stuff, but I have quite bad anxiety anyway. So, like, when stuff like this happens, it weirds me out, and I do overthink it because I'm an overthinker. That's kind of why I like to come on here and vent and share how I'm feeling. I'm medicated for my anxiety now, which, you know, I know it's kind of a me thing, but, you know, it was so much that other customers, you know, someone else noticed it, so it just wasn't me. It was really weird. It's just, you know, I'm going to stay indoors this weekend. I'm not setting foot in the shop. There's something, you know, there's weeks where it's just like weird energy when you go out. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and stop going on because I'm fucking boiling in the car. Until next time, bye. But has anyone, seriously, do I look like a shoplifter? Put in the comments below. Until next time, bye.
This country increasingly is a total rip-off, a total scam. I made a video about this subject probably a year ago, maybe 9 months ago, and I got rinsed by a load of people who said, oh, you're just bitching and moaning, they're providing a service, why shouldn't they charge you for it? What am I talking about? I'm talking about airport drop-off charges. Even the mainstream media now are starting to recognise that it's a scam, that it's rigged, that they're charging you for nothing. So Watch this. This is Richard Madeley on Good Morning Britain. Unbelievably, mainstream media covering it, and I'm agreeing with them. Madeley's absolutely right. Gatwick is my nearest airport. It's 10 quid to drop somebody off in the drop-off lane. £10. You can be there for literally 30 seconds or a minute. I had to drop my son off at about 3:15, 3:30 in the morning a couple of weeks or so ago. I was in and out in less than a minute. Ka-ching, 10 quid. I then went back to pick him up a week later and thought, I'll just pop into the quick stay, the short stay car park. I'll only be half hour, 45 minutes. As it was, it took him a little bit of time to get his bags. I was about 55 minutes to an hour. Ka-ching, £14. The charges are extortionate. This country is absolutely extortionate. Try driving to your local high street and parking either on a parking meter or in a local car park near the high street. 3 quid for half an hour. £5.50 for an hour. 8 quid for a couple of hours. What's going on? We moan about our high streets. We moan about people not going into our high streets. Yet it's extortionate just to go there and park. And people, you'll get the eco-zealots and the green zealots saying, well, just get the bus, get the train, walk. It's not always as easy as that. You might need a car to put something heavy in. You might need your vehicle for whatever reason. You might not live near a bus route. You might not live near a train station. You might be semi-rural and driving into somewhere that's in town. Why does everything in this country cost so much? How do the airports possibly justify charging £10 literally to drop someone off at their facility, which they're going to walk into and spend a load of money in anyway? It's an absolute rip-off. It's an absolute scam. Most of them, I think, now charge. In fact, all of them, I think, charge. I dropped someone at Stansted back in October time, I think it was. They're only 7 quid, so they're nice and cheap. But if you've ever been to Stansted, it's not a busy airport. Why are they charging 7 quid to drop someone off? How does Gatwick possibly justify 10 quid? I don't know what Heathrow is, but I'm guessing it's going to be 8 or 10 quid as well. Please let me know what your thoughts on this are. Am I right or am I wrong? Or is it the biggest rip-off going?
I'll just try this again, shall I? This is I've lost count. I've tried to do this video so many times. I'm upset today. I am very upset today because of inconsiderate people living this lifestyle. I have lost another park up. Now, I knew it was going to be an overnight loss, as in can't park there overnight anymore, because they went to court recently and got an injunction blanket banning parking there overnight. But I didn't realise that they would put up a barrier quite so quickly. And so today, or last night, I parked near the park up I usually go to during the day a couple of times a week, so that the cats can go for a nice good roam, because it's nice and safe for them. And I drove down there this morning and the height barrier was across there and I can't get in. So I now do not have a safe park up space for daytime use where the cats are free to roam safely. Not in this current area, which I am currently down in for a period of time because of appointments. So I can't just go off gallivanting and find somewhere else. I have to stay in this area. And I have been mindful of the fact that I have to stay in this area, so I do not park in the same place every single day of the week. But my cats will now be limited to overnight little voyages and explorations. Dory, what are you doing? What are you doing? Instead of being able to explore during the day. They actually seem to be okay with the joy of being in the van all day today, but I've had to park up somewhere. It's not great because it does have vehicles going past but I need a decent signal today because I've got a load of work to do, and I cannot lose any more work because I haven't been able to do any all week because I've been in hospital. So yeah, I know other van lifers are going to have the same feelings I do, that we are losing park-ups, nice park-ups, left, right and centre because of people who take the absolute beep. And I don't care. I know cost of living crisis is a real nightmare at the moment. Trust me, I know. That's why I am living in this van. I can't afford rent. I can't afford bills. And yeah, diesel's expensive. And yeah, the cats get decent food. The van gets diesel. And I get whatever I can out of what's left. But I do still move the van regularly. Sometimes once a day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes more than that. Because I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be someone who rocks up somewhere, moves in permanently and causes havoc for everybody else. But unfortunately, there's too many people like that, who don't really give a shit. So I am working on plan B. I have been silently working on plan B for a while because I was seeing more and more park-ups disappearing. And this government doesn't seem to like people living alternative lifestyles. Presumably because they can't, get as much money out of us. So, yeah, I have been working on plan B. And once that is hopefully finalised tomorrow, I'll be able to share plan B with you. But for the moment, for today at least, we're stuck in the van without the boys being able to go out and explore. I will make sure I park up tonight somewhere safe where they can go out tonight, but for the moment they're having a duvet day, which is a shame because it's a lovely day today and they would have liked going out exploring, but that's life. Don't always get what you want. Anywho, this is not so much of a rant now because I've calmed down quite a bit. And hopefully this video will actually upload and post. So, yeah, if you're going to try van life, please don't be one.
Even retirement isn't what many imagined. People spent decades working hard, thinking they'd finally have time to enjoy themselves, travel a bit, see friends, take up hobbies. Instead, some are spending retirement calculating energy bills and supermarket prices. That wasn't the dream. Britain has always prided itself on enjoying life's simple pleasures: the local pub, the village fete, the fish and chips by the seaside, the cup of tea with neighbours, the Sunday roast. None of those were supposed to feel like luxury experiences. The cost of living isn't just emptying our wallets. It's quietly stealing experiences we'll never get back. Money can come and go, but missed birthdays, cancelled family holidays, time not spent together, those are things no amount of money can buy back later. So perhaps the biggest cost of living in Blighty is the cost of not really living at all. Cheerio, and before you go, don't forget, some of the best things in life are still free. It's just getting to them that's become expensive.